And we are back. Welcome to the SoapBox, where people who work, volunteer, and care about recovery tell us who they are and what they're most passionate about. I'm your host, Richard Jones, and I represent parentingyourchildinrecovery.com and secondstarts.com. That's number 2, NDSTARTS.com. Today, my special guest is Janet Krebs. And Janet is the leadership strategist you choose for your family when you want to confidently raise standout adults of tomorrow and keep sane in the process. Janet, hello, and thank you for being here.
Hello. Always good to see you.
Good. Janet, I'd like to start off with just asking you, just give me, please, the Cliff Notes version of who Janet is and, tell us a little bit about yourself. Start us off.
Rich, at our age, do we really have Cliff's Notes? Like, it's actually like a novelette, right? Cliff's Notes is great for shorter lives. We're a little seasoned. I've done some of the greatest, coolest things ever. Professionally, facilitation and human resources, always working with people. I'm proud to say I retired myself from the educator pool. I spent 14 years in the space flight simulator as Commander Krebs, which always gets people's interests piqued. But honestly, to this day, my greatest joy and accomplishment is my 2 stellar kids, Benjamin and Elisa. So I'm a proud mother above all else.
Oh, that is good to hear. Janet, first of all, before we even move further, again, give me a little bit more. I said I was going to let this go to the end, but my curiosity is too high for me. I need a little bit more Commander Krebs.
Okay. Commander Krebs is where that's where I formalized. So as a school teacher in a traditional classroom, like for me, it was a learning laboratory. I was a mom then, and it was just this revolving door of trying strategies to get kids to do things that they didn't necessarily want to do, or even behavior strategies, like you've got kids that are misbehaving. So for me, life became a learning laboratory. I wasn't the greatest classroom teacher because it felt like I was delivering content. But working in the simulator, the content kind of was the experience, and the kids made it magical. The teenagers, the adults that even came for professional development made it magical. And so the learning laboratory continued as a human behavior study. How do you get people to do things that they don't think they can do? They're afraid to do. It's complicated. They don't get it. How do you get them to work in teams? And so the entire experience became like I had a revolving door, 20 years of of this learning laboratory of human behavior. And the simulator was getting kids to understand community, their own personal responsibility of contributing to the greater cause of the mission, expanding their imaginations to think outside of a traditional classroom because we were in space.
Right. Okay.
With I say costume, but my suit was the flight suit. And it was a peak of imagination. Mm-hmm. And kids didn't even realize they were learning, which is part of the magic of getting kids excited about learning. Make it so that it doesn't feel like learning, right? So, and the kids didn't sit. They didn't sit in seats for hours upon hours. They had to get up. It was hands-on experiments. So it was just magical. And I learned how to engage. I learned how to read the room for any speaker. Okay. They understand that. And parents who were observing in the simulation, oftentimes, and my work currently started because parents were like, How did you get him to do that? How did you get her to do? I've never seen them perform with such enthusiasm, with such brightness and spirit. And that's what sparked my whole work today, is how to uncover the real person inside of a kid, to get them, to steer them to, not in a manipulative way, but like, what's the carrot that we dangle?
Right.
And is it the right carrot? Are we solving the right problem? Are we having the right conversations? Are we asking the correct questions? And it became a tremendous study in human behavior.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
It's fascinating.
Makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Before we go on, I just want to say the show notes, very important to this show. We get some additional information about Janet, her other projects coming up, her contact information. So make sure you check out those show notes. And if you are the parent, mentor, or a family member of a young adult at risk for trouble with the law or substance use, you don't want to play the guilt, shame, and blame game anymore, and you don't want any more Band-Aids, please look in those show notes. We have a guaranteed customized non-clinical solution that works with other projects. And there's also a place for, if you're a practitioner and you want to look in and partner with us, there's a place for you to do that now. So right now, we are going to put Janet up on the soapbox, and we're going to get some real Janet here right now. So Janet, please step up on the soapbox. Let's talk about it.
I feel like I live on the soapbox, Rich. I feel like
get on the soapbox. First thing I want you to talk about is building a solid family foundation. Talk to me about that.
Well, can we agree that it's essential? Right? Can we agree?
Yeah.
And the analogy would be like, even when we build a home, when we build a structure of any kinds, I don't care if it's a house of toothpicks, cards, or bricks and mortar. When there is no solid foundation, we cannot expect it to last the long haul. And in my world, I have to believe, I've seen it time and time again. We've all seen it. When there is no solid foundation at home, then we are at risk of having problems, having the structure crumble down on us. And I don't think, it's not about thinking. I believe it's really not that hard. We make everything hard, Rich. Like humans, we overcomplicate everything. And here's just a case in point, right? So building a solid foundation, let's just, like, I live in acronyms and stuff like that. Let's just say one of my cornerstones is connection. Like, building a strong connection at home is essential for creating a solid foundation. Okay, Janet, that sounds great. An academic. What does that look like? I'm a single mom. We don't have a lot of money. We are on a single income in our family. All of the scenarios playing out. You know what connection can be? A little heart on a napkin when your child sits down at the table that implies from mom or dad or whoever the caretaker is, I love you.
Okay.
Like, is that like, that's a pen or a writing utensil on a napkin with a heart? I used to take a bite out of my kids' sandwiches that I packed for lunch or that they packed for lunch. I'd sneak back after lunches were packed and I would take a bite because I knew that they would just open up their lunch and they would just get a subliminal perceived message from mom, like, hey, I'm with you. Gotcha. Hope you're having a good day. It was mortifying, I'm sure, if kids at the table, but they had to, like, they just laughed it off. When they were really young, I would kiss a little Post-it note and pop it in their lunches. That's free. Right? That's free. Right. A lipstick kiss on their bathroom mirror. These are things that just build connection,
Hmm.
let kids know, like no words required, just
Okay.
a simple little gesture to let kids know that they're not alone in the world. This is one way, just simple suggested ways to build connection. So for me, the foundation is essential. It's a non-negotiable. And
Okay.
nobody can tell me that it costs too much or they're not good enough or they're not creative enough to build connections, because we could come up with 12 within the next 5 minutes if we had the time, and we won't.
Excellent. Excellent. I love that. I love that. Janet, speak to me about leadership. I know you got some strong views on leadership.
It's all, it's again, it's part of the same conversation, Rich.
Hmm.
I mean, for in my world, and actually if we think about, okay, let's think about it in some fun terms. Many of us think of leadership, and you and I are both, we're no spring chickens. Leadership when we were growing up was the corner office in corporate America,
Right.
one office, one title, one human. That was leadership. And everybody looked up to, and they led the team and got things done. For me, leadership at home is mom, dad, whoever the caretaker is. And if you think about it, anybody who is responsible for other human beings, right? So grandmother, aunts, like it doesn't matter to me what your family composition is. As role models, it could be in church, athletic
Uh-huh.
coaches. Like there are so many opportunities for us to be in leadership for others. And in my opinion, leadership means that you are the chief everything officer, especially at home. So CEO has a brand new title. Mom, dad, you are the
Mhm.
chief everything officer. You are the
Okay.
leader, and your kids, whoever it is that you are responsible for, they're looking to you. That's leadership. So let's get out of corporate America, look at home, look within the
Mhm.
walls of wherever we live, and whoever is in charge, mom, dad, aunt, grandmother, whomever, that's the leader, chief everything officer. So for me, leadership is a posture, it's not a position. And
Okay.
we got to pull it out of corporate America and look around, because you're a leader, I'm a leader. How we walk the world is an example of leadership.
Janet, I want to ask you something. Is there any is there a particular age group that you find easier to work these principles with, or is it the younger the better, or how did you do like between
Great.
younger and then the teenage years?
It's a great question, because kids, they don't stay.
Mm.
That's the one thing about kids. If you don't like their behavior today, just hang on, because it'll be different in 5 minutes, 5 hours, or tomorrow. Of course, the answer would be the earlier you start, the easier. But most families don't reach out until the tweens, because
Hmm.
tweens is when we statistically wake up one day and say, who is that child? I have no idea what happened to that child yesterday. He was wonderful. She was so kind. And today they're like this alien that I don't recognize. So that's typically when I hear from parents. And the good news is it's never too late. Like tweens, they are still very malleable. 19, 20, that gets a little harder because they are emerging in the humans that they desire to be or think they desire to be. But tweens are malleable. But at school age tweens, it doesn't matter to me. But that's the unfortunate thing about my work, is that parents don't ask for help until there's a problem to solve,
Hmm. That's, yeah, okay.
which
And
is typical.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
That's so true. Unfortunately, by the time you get a chance to help, it's really needed. A lot of times that need fogs all the, fogs a lot of the abilities to take in your help, because now you're dealing with and a bunch of things at the same time. So,
But it's
um,
workable. And it's so simple. It typically, like I always tell my families, like, we're not going to be married. I don't want to be married to you, but we've got just a couple of weeks and we're going to iron some things out. And I promise you, we're going to change some behaviors within the home and bring harmony back. And it's really not that hard.
very, very nice. Reminding everybody again, make sure you check out the show notes. We got some more from Janet, thoughts, projects, future contact information. And also, if you are working the parent, mentor, or family member of a young adult, 17 to 25, who's at risk or in trouble with substance abuse, you want a guaranteed, non-clinical solution that gets rid of the guilt, shame, and blame game, please check out those show notes. Janet, let me ask you this. Talk to me about some future projects you got going on. I know you mentioned the book to me. I want to hear about that.
Well, the
And you
book
publish other books too, so let me hear about those.
I have, but this is my favorite. This is my latest project. There you go. It's it's an itty bitty book, which means it's super short. But the fun thing about this book, Guide to Parenting Like a Leader, and this is the 15 universal shifts to raising the standout adults of tomorrow. And it's obviously it's nonfiction, but there are literally 15 shifts in here that like you can read this in 20 minutes and you can go chapter by chapter and get ideas of where and how to start. So this is my favorite project to date, because this is where parents can actually get some nuts and bolts and ideas, and or at least get the conversation started.
Okay, all right. You said that you're going to be talking on some big stages. Where will we be able to see you? What you going to be doing?
I can't divulge that yet because we're still in negotiations.
Okay, very, very nice then. What I wanted to ask you about was, on top of this, is what does Janet do for fun, recreation? What do you do? Yeah.
God, I should have like a whole laundry list of things, shouldn't I? This is going to sound so cliche, and I hate cliche, but when they say if you enjoy what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work. I write all the time. I create content all the time. And I coach a lot. And I don't think it's work, because my favorite thing to do is inspire others. And I get to do that all the time. Now, if I'm not doing any of that, I love a good book. And I really just love taking walks and things like that. But I don't have like, oh, I go water skiing, whenever I can out on the lake. That's just not me. I love to cook. I'm a homebody. I like to cook.
Cook. What when you say cook, because I love talking about food. What's your favorite? What's your specialty?
I don't have a specialty, Rich. I love creating beautiful food that is 5 ingredients or less, that will make deposits into our health, good health overall.
Okay.
I think if there is a phrase for it, I think somebody told me once, I am on the eat like your grandparents diet or caveman diet or whatever. So I like creating beautiful food with very simple ingredients.
Oh, I love to hear that. I need you around here so to keep me away from the cheeseburgers. That would help a lot. Okay. All right, Janet. Again, reminding everybody, we're going to check out those show notes. Janet's going to give us some more. I'm going to pry her after this show to give us some more. Janet, talk to me about how can people get in touch with you and get some of your knowledge and get some of your help with their family?
I make it really simple for folks. If you just Google my name, you will find me. Website is janetkrebs.com. Doesn't get any easier than that. On socials, I just use my name as well. And I release videos on Facebook and LinkedIn twice a week of just little nuggets. And so I'm very, very accessible.
Okay, very nice
As a
to
matter of
hear.
fact, I always challenge people, if you want to test that, my email is ask@janetkrebs.com. And I do that all myself. I answer all my own emails.
Okay.
And because
Okay.
people ask questions in there, and there's no robot for me. It's just me. So I'm very responsive, and I always invite people, just reach out. You do not need to walk this world alone.
It's very, very helpful. I'm very helpful. I spend a lot of my time working with young people, and I think that I tell people all the time, this is where we are, not to use a crazy phrase, but under attack. Our young people are our future. And when anything goes wrong, that's where they want to hit us, at our young people. So when anything we invest in the young people, we get back 3 or 4-fold. So I'm a big believer in that. That's why I also work with the youth like you do. And I appreciate everything you're doing. And I'm happy that you even wanted to come on the show and talk to me about this, because the subject means a lot to me. And I see you on social media, and you definitely, you speak to what I'm thinking. And I think that a lot of other people will agree with me when they hear you and see you. I really do.
And thank you. And I respect and appreciate the work that you also do. And I think a global message for any listener: nobody can deny that some people wake up, it's like, oh, the world is like, we don't recognize the world that we live. It's changing. It's this, it's that, it's this and that. Okay, let's quit complaining, and
Right.
let's take the reins, which is also an arm of leadership, right? Let's take the reins and make change. Like, who are we looking to do that? There's lots of Christian music that's like, look in the mirror. God created you. You can facilitate change. And that doesn't have to be a biblical statement, but it's a global statement of man in the mirror moment. Like, nobody else is going to rescue us. We have to take the reins. If the world is challenging, then let's join in. Let's stand strong and be an agent of change. Our kids are demanding of us. They are begging of us to lead them through what they feel is chaos. Who are they supposed to ask for help other than the people that are generations above them? That's our job.
Right.
Is to give them hope and to inspire them, to help them navigate through whatever the world is. If we can't control certain things, we can control how they see it and how they perceive their position and their place in the world. That we can control. And that's our job. I believe that is our primary responsibility, to help them navigate through the chaos.
Well said. Well said. Well said. Janet, again, thank you for being on with me. Remember, everybody, give some information to get in touch with Janet. This episode will be on YouTube at Second Starts number 2 ndstrts.com. It'll be on the YouTube channel. It'll be in Parenting Your Child in Recovery in the Facebook group, and we'll get those out to you. And Janet, it was great to have you. And I'm going to speak for you right now and say goodbye to our audience. And so from me and Janet, everybody, thank you. And let's remember, let's get out there and help somebody get better, help somebody stay better, and help somebody be better. Thank you. And till next time.
Bye for now.